The Pavilion Champion's Wolfblade is a unique looking sword you can get from the Living World Season 1 achievement, Clockwork Chaos Mastery. It is modeled after Bram style with the wolf, though dabbled in some Aetherblade clockwork signature, and in this video I will show you how to get it. The Clockwork Chaos Mastery achievement rewards you with the Pavilion Champion medal, which you will need to make this weapon. If you've already completed this achievement but are unsure of where you put the Champion's medal, then use the timeline to skip ahead to making the weapon. Now, if you haven't and you still need to complete it, I'll show you which achievements I did to complete this. Again, you complete any of the achievements to get to the mastery. These are just the ones I did, and I tend to go for the easier ones. From the opening ceremony to picking up the pieces are simply achieved by doing the storylines. The rest of the achievements are spread out among the storylines, so what I'm going to do is list them per storyline so you can follow along in one go, instead of having to do the storylines multiple times. You want to pay special attention when we get to the Scarlet's Playhouse storyline, as a lot of achievements can be found there. First up is Opening Ceremony. In this storyline we have one objective for the Investigative Study 3 and the Kryta's Finest achievement. For the Kryta's Finest, what you'll have to do is /cheer at Logan after he's won his fight. That's all. You can do that as he steps back to the middle and starts bowing. Then, going behind the throne, you will find Letter to the Queen for Investigative Study 3. That's it for Opening Ceremony. The next story instance is Closing Ceremony. We will have to do Deft Defusing. This one is pretty straightforward. After the cutscene, rush over to the 4 markers and destroy all 4 bombs within the time limit. I suggest bringing some decent movement skills to help you go faster, as well as to try and avoid the mobs for the most part, focusing on the bombs. For the first bomb, you'll have to run around a little bit. The next 2 bombs are on the higher ledge, and the 4th bomb is down again. Alright, Scarlet's Playhouse. In this storyline instance you will find the following: 4 items for Investigative Study 3, both recordings for Investigative Record 1, and 5 chests for Spoils of Chaos. So that is a total of 11 items you will have to find here. For convenience, I've put up a list on the screen so you can follow along as we go. Investigative Study 3 shows 1 out of 8, as you already have Letter to the Queen from the Opening Ceremony instance. Now then, as we enter the instance, wait for the dialogue to end and then turn around. Head up the big ramp and up into the treehouse on top. The purple item on the floor of the treehouse is Recording 1 or Investigative Record 1. Run back down and follow the green arrow into the next wedge. This is the Lava Wedge, where we'll find Spoils of Chaos chest number 1 and chest number 5. Chest number 1 is found by turning left upon entering the wedge. Head up the slight ramp, kill the twisted enemies, and grab your chest. For chest number 5, you'll have to run to where Scarlet is keeping Farron and the hostages. Fight through the event until she runs away. Now use the spikes on the wall to jump towards chest number 5. This can be a bit tricky though, just take your time and you'll get there. After that one, head on to the next wedge, the Centaur Wedge. In here we will find, for Investigative Study 3, Scarlet's Book of Poetry, Volume 1. This is next to the westernmost lever. I kinda skipped over this, so don't mind me editing in how I had to run back the entire way. The next wedge is the Pirate Wedge, where you will have to fight Scarlet for the first time. When her shield is up, make sure to tank her inside the jagged cannonball indicators. This will remove her shield. In the Pirate Wedge we will find the following achievement items. For Investigative Study 3 we have Scarlet's Book of Poetry Volume 2, and for Spoils of Chaos we can find chest number 4. After defeating Scarlet, run to the southeast corner of the wedge. Inside the fancy looking ship, you will find Scarlet's Book of Poetry Volume 2. After that, head to the northwest and run up the ramps onto the big ship. Once there, you should be able to see the chest. Use the pole on the ramp and any speed increases you can get to jump over to it. With the Pirate Wedge completed, we are now heading to the Destroyer Wedge. Here we will find chest number 3 for Spoils of Chaos, as well as Scarlet's Book of Poetry Volume 3 for Investigative Study 3. We will also be using this wedge to get to the second and final recording for Investigative Record 1. Fight your way through this area. Be mindful that the veteran Twisted Nightmares have a reflective shield. If you have a lot of projectiles, wait until the shield is down. Our main base of operations in this wedge is the Western Lever. Right by the lever, you can find Scarlet's Book of Poetry Volume 3, which I skipped over again. Luckily we can edit that in so nobody will notice unless I say this out loud in my video. Then, after finding that, head up onto the ramp again near the lever and jump towards the ledge with the fence. I don't think you're meant to go through the fence, but it sure makes things easier. Run along the wooden walkway onto the other side. Before dropping down to the chest, run a bit further until you're behind the throne. Here on the ground is recording 2 for Investigative Record 1, so we can mark that achievement off our list. Now run back and drop down to chest number 3 for our Spoils of Chaos. Now onto the final wedge and the final stretch of our achievements. You're doing great. By the way, if this video is helpful in any way, make sure to boop that like button. I bet Scarlet would hate that. Right, the Ogre Wedge. Here we will find the final 2 items, which are chest number 2 for Spoils of Chaos and Woes of a Netherblade for Investigative Study 3. Both of these can be found right next to each other, so go ahead and kick Scarlet's behind before heading to the upper area in the southern part of this wedge. There, just past the campfire, you can find both the chest and Woes of a Netherblade ready for the picking. Now for Investigative Study 3, there are still 3 items you need to find. All 3 of these are found in the Picking Up the Pieces story. Upon entering the story instance, you will see all 3 of them laying on the desk behind Logan and Anise. Reading those 3, you will have completed your Investigative Study 3 as well. Guarding the Fields and Guarding the Fields 2 requires you to do 10 and 15 events in Gandharan Fields, so we may as well get those out of the way as well. Remember that these events don't stack, so we'll have to do 10 and then 15. One more achievement to go. After completing the Clockwork Chaos episode, head into the Twilight Arbor dungeon and complete the Aetherpath. Having done that, you should have all the achievements needed for the Clockwork Chaos Mastery and be rewarded with your Pavilion Champion's Medal. In case you lost your Champion's Medal, head on over to Saratok in the Hooligan's Route in Lion's Arch, right over here. For a 10 gold fee, you can buy this and any of the other items you've done the achievement for in the past. With the Pavilion Champion's Medal in hand, you will need the following items still to complete your sword. 5 Orichalcum Sword Blade, 5 Orichalcum Sword Hilt, and 10 Mystic Coins. You can get these off of the TP, or make the blades and hilts yourself. With all of the items in hand, head over to the Mystic Forge, toss them in, and you now have your awesome new sword. Now remember, the Pavilion Champion's Wolfblade is only one of 5 unique looking weapons from the Living World Season 1. If you're interested in the others, I have videos on those as well, so make sure to check those out to complete your entire list of Living World Season 1 unique weapons. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to boop that like button, or stop by live sometime, would love to have you. Until the next one though, take care my friends, and happy adventuring.